Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a get to know me video with some life updates peppered in. So if you are new here, hello, my name is Cassie. I am a Christian wife and mama of a 15-month-old baby girl. And I am a former pageant queen. I love fashion, travel, thrifting, and all of that. So if you enjoy that content and you enjoy this video, make sure you stick around and subscribe for more of that kind of content. So the reason I wanted to make this video today is because when I started YouTube like 2 years ago, I just kind of jumped in. I started making like pageant tips, and I started our fertility journey, and then after that I got pregnant and sharing the pregnancy journey and all of these things, and I never really stopped to introduce myself. And so I know that some of you that are watching this know me in real life, so you didn't really need to get to know me, but since then I've had many of you find my channel who do not know me in real life, so I thought this would be helpful. So baby girl is down for her nap. I have my smoothie and a handful of questions, feeling chatty, so let's hop into it. So first things first, where are you from? So this should be such a simple answer, but I always make it way too difficult. So short answer, I grew up in Eastern Washington in Colfax, but I was born in Western Washington, grew up in Eastern Washington, went to college in Central Washington, and my first job post-college took me to Moscow, Idaho, which is in northern Idaho. That's where I met my husband, that's where I was living when I won Miss Idaho, and that's where we moved from to here in Utah, where we currently live. So generally I tell people that I'm from northern Idaho because when you say Washington, they just automatically think Seattle. And sorry if any of you are from the Seattle area, but I hate the Seattle area. So I'm like, I don't want to be affiliated with Seattle. So I always say northern Idaho because where we moved from is actually like 30 minutes from where I grew up in Washington, and that's where my parents live now. So when I go home, I'm going back to Moscow, Idaho. So northern Idaho, Eastern Washington is where I'm from. What do you do for work? So I have mentioned before that I'm not as consistent as I would like to be on YouTube because I work full-time and I mom full-time, and so that doesn't leave a lot of time for creating YouTube content and editing and all of that stuff. So, but I never explained what I do for work. So my degree is in apparel, textiles, merchandising, and design. And so when I got that degree, I didn't know exactly which direction I wanted to take it. I was just kind of, trusting the Lord's leading. So I work as an account manager for a dropship footwear company. We're one of the largest dropship companies in the United States, if not the largest, if you're not familiar with the concept of dropship. So we design all of our footwear in-house, but we sell our product on major retailers' websites such as, Nordstrom, Macy's, and things like that. It's a benefit for those companies because they're not having to buy thousands of units each season. We just send them the imagery, they put them up on their website, and then when an order comes in, it comes to our warehouse, we fulfill it, we send it. They're not risking anything by putting our product on there. They're just giving their customers a little more variety. And then they get a percentage when a sale happens. So what I do as an account manager is I work with those retailers on promotions, pricing, things of that nature. So I'm sending over line sheets each season with all the new products, helping them curate the assortment. I'm sending over samples for photo shoots and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. It's honestly the perfect job for me because I still get to dabble in the creative side of things. Sometimes I get to help on photo shoots. I get to be in those meetings where we're seeing the new line for each season, talking about which trends we're going for, and getting to kind of give my feedback on those things. But I spend a lot of my time day to day deep in spreadsheets, which I love. In my Miss Idaho USA interview, I talked about how Excel spreadsheets were the key to my success, and I fully believe that. So it's a perfect mix for me, and I absolutely love it. I love all my coworkers, my bosses, everyone is amazing, and it's a real like family atmosphere. So that is what I do for work. Okay, social media changes. This is a big one that I have been wanting to talk about Back in 2013, when I had just graduated college, my dear friend Lauren Kawano, who you might follow on Instagram, if you don't already, you should. She's incredible. She was a really early adopter to the Instagram platform. And so I was having lunch with her and she was talking to me about, like, you know, you love fashion, like you style your outfits great. You really should hop on this platform called Instagram and like post your outfits every day. I really think it's gonna grow, all this stuff. And so I was like, okay, sure. So I was one of those people that posted every single day on Instagram for like the first couple years. I was like kind of crazy about it. But I could not get my following above like 750 people. That was like the number I could not overcome until I won Miss Idaho USA in 2017. I think that took me up to like 1,200 people, but I like could never hit 1,300. So it was like I just kept hitting these roadblocks. And I've definitely gone through seasons where I've been more committed to creating great content and putting it out and using all the hashtags and timing everything out. And then there's other seasons where I'm like, this isn't working, I give up. And I had a day where I dressed really cute. I went to this outdoor mall here called City Creek in downtown Salt Lake. And like, I looked cute, I was at a cute place and I didn't get a photo. And I remember coming home from that and I was like, God, what a waste. I shouldn't have even gone because I didn't get a photo. And I had to stop and be like, ew, like that's gross. You're living your life. Who cares if you didn't get a photo to document it? And so I really had to take a step back at that point and be like, okay, I don't want to live my life like this. So I'm just gonna stop. So for a while I did. Then in 2020, beginning of 2020, before any of the craziness, I launched my blog, I launched this YouTube channel, and I was like dead set, this is my year, I'm gonna hit the ground running. I'm gonna like try and get the brand deals, all that stuff. And right away, I did get one brand deal with New York & Company, which you guys have seen me talk about before on here and on my Instagram. Love them. So I was shooting content for them every month on my husband's like fancy camera, editing in Lightroom, like really trying to grow my brand. It still didn't really happen. I think I gained like 100 followers or something in that year. And so I just had to have a conversation with God and be like, okay, it's been 10 years. I have gone through seasons where I've tried harder. I've gone through seasons where I haven't cared so much. And this is clearly just not a door that you're opening. And I was like, it's frustrating because I love getting to do photo shoots. I have a husband who loves all the technology and loves shooting the content, editing the content. He has that skill set. Like we just happen to have a drone and GoPros. Like we just have those things because he has those skills. And I'm like, it would make so much sense for this to work. Like I have a degree in fashion. He has these skills. Why is this not happening? And so I just had to accept, like, it's been 10 years. God has not opened that door. We got to let that go. And so we did. And then we had Chloe, and I was just posting randomly as I felt like it. And then one day I had a super creepy guy comment on a photo of her, and his profile picture was Ted Bundy, the serial killer. And he posted, I don't even remember what he said, but I went to his profile and his profile was all about being anti-procreation, which don't get me started on how stupid that is. But I was just like, I don't want these kind of creepy, weird people to be able to access photos of my daughter. But I'm also not gonna be one of those people that like scribbles over her face in posts because she is beautiful and I want to share her with like friends and family that don't live here. Like I want them to be able to see her. So then I made the decision to make my Instagram private. So if you do send me a friend request over there, you can even message me and just be like, hey, found you on YouTube, whatever. If not, I'll just stalk you and make sure that you're a normal person before I let you follow. So yeah, social media changes have been a big thing. I've still been talking to the Lord about this YouTube channel, if we want to continue this. Like I said, I don't have a ton of margin in my life right now, but I really do enjoy it. So we're gonna keep going with this for now, and then we'll see where we go from here. Pageant coaching. So like I mentioned, one of the first things I did on this channel was sharing pageant tips and tricks. So I competed at Miss USA. So I had some content around the USA system, judging a program, what judges look for. I'm also on the state committee for the Distinguished Young Women's program, which I absolutely love. I have videos on that program as well. And I'll probably continue to put out videos like that because I love those programs. But I have decided to step away from pageant coaching, and there are a few reasons for this. So first of all, I apologize if you've reached out to me in the last year at my pageant coaching email and I haven't gotten back to you. Life's just been crazy, and that has just kind of fell by the wayside, to be honest. I coached a few clients after Chloe was born, and it was just so stressful having to try and plan coaching sessions when she wasn't going to need to nurse because I full-time breastfeed, and it wasn't going to be like nap time or something else, and Jordan was going to be home from work or like here to be able to watch her. And so it was just a lot of stress on our family for something that obviously it doesn't make a lot of money. And I found that I just don't enjoy coaching as much as I enjoy judging or even giving larger scale like feedback to clients. So like I have done big Zoom events with groups of girls and given like overview of my tips and things and answering their questions, and I love doing that. I think that is so much fun, and I do feel like I have skill in that area. But pageant coaching is a little bit more difficult because you're having to come up with the questions, ask the questions, take notes on their answers, but also being prepared to ask another question so it feels like a real interview for the person, and then knowing them and their background, making sure they're working in all the things that they need to work in. So it's just like a lot going on in your mind, and it's a lot. And so I prefer being able to give advice and answer questions rather than doing the in-person pageant coaching. So stepped away from that for this season of life. And so if you are looking for someone, I've been referring people to my friend Danny Walker. You can also find like Nia Sanchez, Kristen Dalton-Wolf, some of those former Miss USAs. I absolutely adore pageantology. Susie and Shandy, they helped me for Miss USA, and I absolutely love them. So those are some other pageant coaches that you can use. Okay, baby number 2. So this is something that we talked about in my last Q&A about a year ago. That was my postpartum get ready with me. Not a lot has changed in this area. If money were no object, I probably would have said like we stopped preventing after Chloe turned 1, which was in February, but money is an object and I want to stay home after this next one. So we had talked about January 2024. That was kind of the goal all along. Now that's kind of up in the air. We've talked about like April 2024 getting things rolling, just because that would allow us for another full year on dual income before I stay home. But then I just kind of laugh at myself because it took 9 months of tracking and trying with Chloe. So it's like, even if we did start in January, you really think it's going to happen in the first 3 months? But who knows? Make plans and God laughs. So we will see, tentatively spring 2024. Buying a house, da da. So this is something that I feel like I've talked about for a long time. It was my goal by 25 to be married, having my first baby, and buy my first house. That did not happen. Then I pushed off to 30. That did not happen. Obviously, I would still love to own my own home one day, but it's just ridiculous that with what me and my husband make both working, what we can afford is like a fixer-upper shack. And that is so stupid. So that is why we are still renting, because we can rent something far larger and nicer than what we can afford to buy right now. Honestly, it's cheaper to rent than buy, and we're renting something nicer. So that's where we're at. I don't think we'll stay in our current place for a super long time. We absolutely love this house. We love the community, but the HOAs just went up like significantly, and with me wanting to stay home in the next year or two, we want to be kind of like on the lower end of our budget. So we have some feelers out there. I'm really hoping that something will come through this fall. I don't want to give too many details on that, but yeah, hoping maybe we'll be in a different rental property this fall. What are you reading? Oh, I should have brought the book in here. I'm a huge Jeff and Alyssa Bethke fan. I mentioned growing up in the Pacific Northwest. They're also from the Pacific Northwest. We're similar in age. So like I was in college when Jeff's career just like started skyrocketing. He came and spoke at our church because we were like 2 hours outside Seattle. And so I've just been following them forever. We had like mutual friends in college, but I've never actually met them. Anyways, love the Beth Keys. So when Jeff came out with To Hell with the Hustle a couple years ago, it literally changed my life. If you haven't read it, you need to. It is just like, it's incredible, talking about just being intentional with your life and your time, and just how society is not set up for us to be content, and like living life at a slower pace is really countercultural. God, I could go on about this forever, but he even talks about how it's something that they do in the restaurant industry of playing music that is fast and a little bit louder than you want it to be, because it helps with the turnover in the restaurant to get people out of seats quicker and people in seats quicker, and you're not staying and mingling as long. I get it, it's business, whatever. But like, God, there were so many interesting things in that book. I was also on the launch team for Alyssa's book, Satisfied. I also highly recommend that one. But I'm now on to their, I think it's their newest book. They're always coming out with books. But it's Jeff's book, Take Back Your Family. It's kind of a continuation on the idea of To Hell with the Hustle. So, but it's specifically more focused on the family. So it's talking about how in Western society, we've turned the home into like a parking lot for the family. Like everyone comes home at night, they sleep here, they eat here for the most part, but then they go off and they live their own lives, and we're not like connected as we used to be, because you know, the world has got so busy, and technology, where even when you're at the dinner table, are you all on your phones, things like that. So again, I just really love it. I'm super into like slow, intentional living these days. I also, after I get to stay home with baby number 2, want to get into like homeschooling and really take that slow, intentional approach with our homeschooling as well. So that is what I'm reading. I'm absolutely loving it. Last but not least, what are you watching? So I kind of want to do a little bit of backstory for this one. So I like to put up Bible verses on my mirror of things to focus on. And without getting too much into the weeds with it, the Bible verse that I've had on my mirror for the last few months is like, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, yeah, focus on these things. And so I've really been intentional about that lately in my life with, you know, who I'm following and how I'm spending my time. And I have gotten to the point where I really watch YouTube as TV. Let me know in the comments below if you do this as well. But it's just, I love it so much. Within the past year, I've just found this group of incredible like couples and women who like love the Lord. They love homemaking and doing things for their family and travel and cooking in the kitchen and like all of these things. So it's like I'm getting to watch TV and like relax and have my entertainment, but it's things that are truly like enriching my life, and like I'm getting ideas, I'm getting takeaways that I can actually implement to make me a better person. And what I also love about that is when I'm spending my time watching YouTube rather than like a regular show, instead of my money going into like some executive's pocket at NBC, the ad revenue from those videos is going to that like Christian homeschool mom whose video I'm watching. So I think that's just like so cool. So I know like I'm on YouTube telling you how great it is to watch YouTube, so clearly you're already here. But I've just really enjoyed like cultivating that those subscriptions here on YouTube that I can follow and just get really encouraged by. And so I hope that through watching those and kind of getting inspired from those channels, I can bring a little bit of that over to my channel and hopefully inspire and encourage you as well. So I think that's about it, but I just wanted to do a little sit down with you guys because I know it's been a while. I've only put out like 2 or 3 videos so far this year, and the year is halfway over. So if you are watching this, thank you for sticking around. Some of the ideas I have for upcoming videos, I still want to do a nursery tour of Chloe's room because I think it's so cute and we did it on such a budget. And so I would love to share that with you guys and give you some kind of ideas on how to do that if you are in that stage of life as well. I would like to do a summer favorites video and then be able to share some of those things over on my blog and try and do that like seasonally I feel like 4 videos and blog posts a year should be reasonable. And yeah, I also thought it'd be fun to do a thrift with me video because I'm absolutely in my thrifting era right now, because why would you spend so much money on kids' clothes when they only wear them for a couple months? Or 6 months in Chloe's case, because she's so small and she grows very slow. She's 15 months and we're literally just getting rid of some of her 6 to 9 month onesies. But even only wearing something for 6 months, like why buy full price when you can get it for $2 at a thrift store with tags on it? You know what I mean? So I thought a thrift with me video would be fun as well. So let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see. If you have other questions for me, if you just found this video, pop on there and say hi. Tell me where you're from, how you found this video. I'd love to get in the comments and chat with you. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.